Welcome to another drawing session with your drawing companion, Jeremiah Johnson, Story Grub. I'm plugging away at this drawing. Oh, making some headroom. Headspace. Head cheese. Whatever. I like just coming through and fixing all the little mistakes that I did the night before. Even if you don't sketch, it's still possible to fix things. You just gotta be careful. You gotta know what you want, I guess. As an artist, I wish I would have known that a lot sooner. Not to dip my toes in too many impractical endeavors, like growing up, for example. I say never grow up. Growing up is for people that throw up. Growing up is throwing up. Exactly. I'm going to teach that to my children just as soon as I start having them. I'm 107 years old right now, so I don't think I'm going anywhere fast. Boy, did school just let out? What's going on? The only time I have 14 people watching is because there are 14 people watching. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just happy to be drawing. Let's put a little circle right there. Maybe another ball. Good morning. Thank you for the nice comments. Oh my God. Holy shit. There is a moth outside of my window the size of a hummingbird. Oh my God, look at this. My cat's like trying to get it, but look at that thing. It's like, oh my God, it just went away, but it was humongous. I've never seen a moth that big. It was like Mothra. It's like Godzilla's on his way or something. Where'd it go? Oh, sweetie, those aren't for you. Those definitely aren't for you. Come on, watch out. Dang, sorry folks. I just that was freaky, man. It was like looking right at me. If it comes back, I'll show you. Wow. I think moths are like a good omen, right? Only if you like moths, I guess. Yeah, it's a drum. 2 birds, 1 stone. 2 birds, 1 drum. It's a floor tom. Unlike my friend Tom, who just sleeps on the floor over there. Hey, Tom. Hey, Tom. Go back to sleep, man. Go back to sleep. It's too early. Just go back to sleep, friend. I don't know why he sleeps on the floor. But I think he is jealous of the table. The table tom. I call it the table tom. It's just another way of how one art can support another art as well, you know. Man, I feel like I just met some kind of deity or something. That was crazy. Hello, Pastor. Good morning. Well, I'm in to answer your question, Emery, I'm in a state of confusion most of the time. Geographically speaking, I'm in the western him and hers sphere, or as some people call it, the hemisphere. It's chilly where I am. I'm just giving you clues. That way you can guess. It's I live in California. That's on the west coast of the United States. I'm just giving you some clues here. You're never gonna guess where I live. The town I live in, it's a little wine town called Paso Robles. You're never gonna get this. And I work in 3 different towns in the area, but I'm never gonna give those names away because, well, that would be ridiculous. Other than that, I can't give out any other details. My social security number, however, is 231. I live in California. On the central coast of California, for now, anyways. I'm just a big dummy. That doesn't understand the world. Nashville, cool. Are you a picker? Are you one of them guitar pickers? I had a friend that went down there. Oh shit, there's my stool. Oh gosh darn dang. I had a friend that went down to Nashville. When he came back, he wasn't the same man. No, just physically speaking, he had been working out. He cut out the sugars and the carbs and stuff, and he just changed his physique altogether. He just looked like a new man. It's just good for him. Good for him. This is a song about finding your worth and knowing who you are. Well, I'm going home, gonna eat myself some turkey with my mama. That's right. Gonna conjure up some kids, go upstate, steal from everyone in the country. Kids get into house like hobbits are burglars, that sort of thing. And plus, people just open the door for kids anytime. Give a kid a switchblade or butterfly knife. Yeah. Plus, if they get caught, usually they don't snitch because even kids know at the tender age of 2 years old that it snitches this was bitches, or something like that. Whatever that expression is. I think it's the important thing is that the spirit is there and that the support system is there, and there is a place for all of us, even the stitches. Well, I'm going to prison for the rest of my life. All right. That was a song I wrote back in 1963. I've been on the run ever since. But I ain't supposed to talk about it. Just robbed a few banks. What's wrong with that? I mean, it's American dream, right? Jeez. They glorify it in every song and in every movie that I've ever seen. That was an earthquake, folks. Deuce, I do apologize. Oh, pianist and guitarist. Great. Same here. I don't play the piano though. So technically I'm not a pianist. I can barely play the guitar. I can barely pronounce the word guitar. So I don't consider myself a musician. I've written quite a few songs. But if you think about it, weren't they really writing me? Come on now. You know you agree. It's all good. I would think I was crazy too, if I didn't know any better. If I hadn't have seen the music aliens for myself. Oh, they coming. Oh, they're coming for us all. They're right around the corner. Lord knows what I'm talking about, because I don't. All right. Well, that's great. I never would have thought in my wildest dreams that my rinky-dink little television show here would reach Tennessee. How about them apples? Sometimes, in the middle of the night, my wife says, because she'll roll over and she'll say, hey, she'll call me Crabapple. It's a little thing that she does when she thinks I'm being kind of mean or something like that. When I tell her to go fuck off or something. And she says, oh, you're being a little Crabapple. I say, piss off, you goddamn son of a bitch. And I'm looking at the wall of the corner. I'm not even talking to her. I'm just looking in the corner of the room at something that ain't even there, she says. And the cat's looking at it too, so that's how I know it's there. That's how I know what I'm seeing is right. But she just calls me her little Crabapple. I just think that's so funny. But then I realize I wake up in the middle of the night and my cat reminds me, because my cat's like, you don't have a wife. And I can talk. My cat is very smart. And I'm very lonely. That's how it is in the country. The funny thing is, you know this much, no matter where you are in this great nation, hunky-dong day, you're in the country. You take the country with you. It becomes a part of you. It's in your heart. It's in your soul. It's not so much in your wallet. It's a little bit spended a big country, but it's gas and such. It just adds up over time. But still, you know, you just got to keep that with you. The hope and the spirit. You got to keep it alive. And hold the door open for people. And take their wallet if you can, if it's just hanging out, you know. Make sure there's no cameras. All that kind of stuff. You know, this is America. God damn it. Ain't of the free and shit. All right. I think I was going to draw some teeth right down there. What do y'all think? Hey, Philadelphia. Well, I'm going to curl up in a ball and start crying myself to sleep. Philadelphia, I can't believe I reached that far north. I used to have me some Canadians that would watch, and then some, mostly Australians. I had about 13,000 Australians watching me at one point. And then I realized that the one wasn't a rounding up to 1,000. It was just one person. So I made him my moderator. His name's Passer, right there. See? He's all the way down south and underneath the earth, in a place called Australia land. And I'm not making these words up, even though most of these in the little words in the middle of the segment fragments that I'm doing, them's all made up. But everything else is true to word. Scouts honor, y'all. Good God. It's too early for this shit. Why am I scared of everything? Why am I scared of everything? I'm scared of you, I'm scared of me, I'm scared of the dog in the tree. Why is that cat not barking like a dog in a tree? I just pissed myself. Oh shit. Thinking out loud again. I gotta keep some of that to myself when I'm live. People are gonna think I'm weird. I Got to walk 20 feet to grab that ukulele when I could just have it at my side, but that would be too easy, wouldn't I? I wouldn't get my cardio for the day either. I spend all day on this little stool. Kind of hurts my butt after a while, but it kind of hurts my butt after a while, but oh gosh, happy Sunday, everybody. It's good to see you. Happy Sunday. Take a sip for me. Little salute to all my friends out there. Oh, that coffee is good. Who made that coffee? Oh, you did, sir. Oh, I did? That's pretty good. That's a Cuisinart, sir. Cuisinart? Or whatever you call those little things. That's right. I didn't make the coffee. I mean, but I brewed it, you know? What a crazy world where we don't even have to, like, heat the water anymore. We have a machine that heats the water. What a crazy world that we even have, like, lungs. Because we breathe air and, like, and food and in our butt and stuff. And, oh, gosh darn. All sorts of weird things in the world. It's so cool to be alive. Happy Sunday, everybody. Sticking feathers up your butt does not make you a chicken. Tyler's words coming out of my mouth. Or was it Nietzsche? I think that was Nietzsche, actually. Pretty sure. It's good to have a bit of anger inside you from time to time. Boils up. Just make sure it doesn't boil over. That barbecue be tasting good. If you gotta stay true to yourself. Wait, the service dropped out, and then I lost audio. Oh, weird. My Wi-Fi is on. That's what. God help us all. Okay, it should be better now. Lo siento to my Spanish-speaking friends out there. I really am sorry. I really am goddamn sorry. And then Carl said, Kensington, Philly, Zombieland. Is that a place? Or is that an amusement park run by zombies? Because if so, I want to work there. Technically, I could be considered a zombie. I go brain dead for hours on end. Funny you should mention zombies too, because I was just watching a bunch of there's this dude called Wow Such Gaming, and he does these videos on like zombie movies and stuff. And I was watching his stuff right before I came out here. So he was just getting ready to do a breakdown on Diary of the Dead, one of Romero's last zombie movies. And it's apparently like everybody's least favorite of them, but I love it's like a not first person, what do you call it? Like found footagey sort of take on his zombies, and I freaking love that movie. I think for because sometimes people try to do those videos like the Blair Witch, but they just can't pull it off right, and they even like mess up and have a camera in there that isn't even supposed to be there, kind of thing, just because they had no choice or something. But Romero's is really creative in the way that they put it together and everything. It's like a bunch of film students. They're in the middle of doing a short film when the outbreak happens, so they already have the cameras and everything, and yada yada. But because sometimes you need a good excuse as to why they're filming. So basically, it's I mean, Blair Witch is similar in that way, but they weren't like, it wasn't an outbreak. It was just that they went into the witch's woods, and they never should have gone. The woods are not for lollygagging. They're only for witchly-gagging. That's right. The live looks clear to me. He has service. Passerby is your service. He's my serviceman. He's he's carefully picked. That way, when I go to Australia land and I get off the plane in Los Angeles, Australia land, I feel comfortable. I feel safe. And I feel like I can go anywhere safely as long as he's by my side. Last time I went down there, he was nowhere to be seen, though. But that was for different reasons. There was a great flood, you see. And he had saved many lives. And he's pretty cool. Yeah, he's a sought after person, so he's busy. So I get it. But I had to use a local. Even though even though Passa is quite local. We don't consider him local. He's more worldly than that. Yep. So I had to resort to some kind of second class version of Passerby. His name was I think it was called Flask Man. And I think he didn't ever introduce himself to us. So we just called him that because he was constantly sucking out of a flask. And we were like, is that the never ending flask or something, mate? I mean, how are you getting a refill? And all he would do is hold that little, once it was done, he'd say, hold it up to the sky and the guards would refill it. We were all terrified. Obviously. Terrified. Until we saw it happen with our own eyes, and then it made sense, and after that we were all friends. But still, it was still kind of awkward at first for the first 5 minutes. Passer, is it better for you now? Hopefully it is. If it is, then I sort of solved that problem because... Not really solved it, but I figured it was because my Wi-Fi in my house sucks, so when I turn it off, it gets better. And if it doesn't get better, I don't know what to do because... I don't... I think at the little place I lived in for like 2 nights recently, I had better Wi-Fi than here. Because I can't use my tablet out here at all because it relies solely on the Wi-Fi from the house. Why am I still talking? Why am I saying Wi-Fi so much? Wi-Fi. There's people that call it Wi-Fi. I think I was one of them at one point. And then like 5 years in, somebody was like, yeah, and check your Wi-Fi. And I'm like, oh my God, is it Wi-Fi? I've been saying Wi-Fi this whole freaking time. How come nobody told me? Isn't that just like so wired? Isn't that so wired of people to just not tell them when they're mispronouncing words that are just kind of, just wired by nature? Weird. Weird. Isn't that just weird? Sorry, it's very early in the morning and I just tend to crack myself up. Like a little Humpty Dumpty over here. But nobody's putting the pages back together. I'm like one of those Asian vases that's put together with gold, and that makes it more valuable. Because there is a crack in everything. What am I doing here? I was gonna draw some teeth, so let's do that, because that's the top lip. And then I could do this. Let's draw some teeth right here. Let's make it official. I've got to clear my throat here in a little bit. Y'all noticed that? Can you hear that? I'm gonna have to clear it. Gonna have to clear it out here pretty soon. I need to get some kind of sound effect to make it sound like a truck is backing up as I go to clear my throat. I don't want anybody to get nervous or get spooked or anything. Almost there. Let's give these teeth somewhere to live, right? Sorry, I just saw that and I wanted to fix it. It wasn't round enough for me. Neither is that, which leads to all sorts of other shenanigans. Because what happens downriver started upstream, right? That's how you can fix the world, by going upstream instead of living downriver all the time and expecting different things to happen. You got to go upstream and you got to bend that river. You got to force it one way or the other, like Paul Bunyan or whatnot. You bloody Americans, you should know. I'm not sure what that means, but I hope you do. And if you do, let me know in the comments. Oh, cool. Nice, dude. That reminds me, hey, can I borrow a few bucks? Just like 250 or something? Just playing. Congratulations. I'm stuck here working on this drawing that they're forcing me to draw. It's not even what I really want to make. But the producers are all looking at me in their lab coats from behind that 6-foot-inch glass. 6-foot-inch thick glass. Can I at least have some water? I know. Thank you for the coffee, though. Why does it taste like medicine? The producers, I don't think they like me. I don't even know why they keep me alive, to be honest. I think they're waiting for me to create my masterpiece. It's not coming, and if it does come, you're gonna have to come into this room and get it, you sons of bitches. They're all laughing. I can tell they're all laughing. You can't hear them, though. It's soundproof. I've been here for 37 years and counting. What does that mean? And counting. It's like a vampire or something? Like, count. What's the character's name in Sesame Street? Isn't it just the Count? It's not like count numbers or something, you know? Which would be kind of funny. Count the numbers. Who were you before you were a count? Well, my numbers were... my name was Numbers. Numbers Smithy. Why do they call you that? Because I was a smithy. And I liked numbers. From a very early age, apparently, because it was my birth name. It's very catchy. Yeah, so after I became a count, it was obvious. I was... with a name like Numbers, it's obvious there's going to be a count someday. Or at least an accountant. So I started there. I had to work my way up. It's true. True story. I wish I had, I mean, I do have a bank account, and I wish that it was full of just gold and memorabilia from the 80s. Mostly Mad Balls. I loved Mad Balls. I was a little bit too old and didn't really care too much about Pogs at the time, but I thought Pogs were pretty cool. I had them. I had some. I played hard. I was a hard player, but still, art was always my thing. I couldn't ever get fully immersed in anything, really. Like sports or cars or women or drugs or religion or death, life even. um, but most of the time I would just sit because I was just sitting there drawing. I didn't have time for any of that stuff. Priorities. I had priorities. And by the time I was 15, I had drawn so many pictures that I thought I was going crazy and insane and stuff. And maybe I was, god damn it. But I wasn't going there alone because I had accumulated all sorts of friends that lived inside my head. It was a really, really lonely, treacherous, horrible time to be wonderfully alive. And there was a spark in me that came from everyone around me. The spark of the universe, the spark of existence. And I fell hard upon that, Blade. And it was funny enough, it was the same year that the movie Blade came out. So we went to the theaters and saw that too. It was the 90s. It was crazy. Oh, to be a teenager in the 90s and to be able to say that out loud now. Because back then it was a little bit rough. I mean, there was a dog around every corner going, like, barking and roughing and all that stuff. And so we had to play it safe. But luckily for my friends, I was a dog whisperer. And anytime a dog would come around, I would save their lives, even if it was like a little teeny one or something. I would just kick the dog out of the way and we'd just keep walking. You know, it was all good. I was just used to. I should have really been called the dog kickerer, maybe, but that's all I did, is kick the dogs out of the way. Anyways, yeah, sometimes the dogs wouldn't leave us alone, and so I had to resort to different measures, like adopting them, and they would just become part of the gang after a while and assume different names and different roles within the religion of our gang and our cult. And after a while, we accumulated so many freaking dogs that I mean, eventually they had to start their own club and they got their own place and everything. They had to move out. So, but we had fun while we could, didn't we all? I really miss you all so damn much. Dogs are great. Dogs are great as long as you can control them and use them for evil. They're absolutely brilliant, beautiful, beautiful little creatures. Very smart. This pen, I just pulled this out of the box, and it's garbage. Basura for my Spanish-speaking friends out there. I don't know what garbage means or is translated when it's in French, but I imagine it's something like "la." So that was for my French-speaking friends. Thank you. Look at this stupid ass pen. It's already like dirty. I just opened this up and it's not even focusing on it either. I wonder if it would or could or should. I'm trying to make it focus, but it won't. That's technology for you. Planning on maybe bursting into tears around 11:34 today. I don't know, maybe earlier. How's everybody else doing? Whoa, with the horn, man. Oh, well, and then there was I just read your comment about the Mad Balls. Because everything, like, I've talked about this before, but everything in the 80s was gross like that, and it was awesome. Like, toys were just gross. And because the Garbage Pail Kids were just like this hit, this phenomenon. My brother had Garbage Pail Kids, so we always, and then the 80s movies, like all those slasher flicks and, Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. Just everything from that to because it got really campy, even the first, the by the time Friday the 13th hit, I would say like 4 or 5 or something. They were just I would no, actually 3 was very very campy, and I think 3 it wasn't even Jason that was like the antagonist again. It was like some guy dressed up as Jason or something. So it didn't even like really count, which was kind of weird because there was 2 movies like that. The first one and like the third or fourth one or something. Anyways, um, uh, but I liked that about them. As a kid, it didn't matter if things were campy. It was just how things were, and you just take things at their face value. So even the movies like in Halloween, for example, because Halloween goes into some crazy directions. By the time it goes into 3 and 4, and they take it into like these satanic areas and things, and try to flesh Michael out as some kind of deity or something, and evil deity or whatever. And as a kid, watching it, okay, yeah, whatever. All this makes perfect sense. Of course, you watch it now and you're like, what the fuck were they doing? You know, the first one is just like the Alien franchise, where the first one is awesome. It's really simple. It's like a slasher. It's like an alien version of a slasher movie, horror movie, and and then um, the second one comes out, and and don't get me wrong, Aliens is like I've probably seen that movie more times than any movie I've probably seen it 1,000 times. I mean, I've watched that movie so many times I can't even give you a number, but many, 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 many times. It's my favorite movie, but it's a lot different than the first one. It's more action, but it retains that respect and the simplicity that the first one sort of was geared towards. And you know, it's like with every sequel, they always have to be like, even in Stranger Things, it's the same thing where something as recent as that, where the Gorgon or what's it called, the oh my god, whatever it's called, the Gorgon or whatever, um, the in the first season it's just one, and then in the second season there's like 1,000 of them or something. And we're supposed to feel like when you go back and watch the first season, you're like, damn, that was only one of those things, and everybody's freaking out, you know. But you have to start somewhere, and then and that always happens too, where they always have to just one up from the first one. That's how sequels are, and usually that's not even the directors or the writers' fault. Usually that's like the studio. Oh, we need more, more, more. They think studios don't know anything. It's the creators that usually should have absolute control, but they're not the ones with the money most of the time, unfortunately. So they have to do what the studios say. But thankfully, Aliens was a masterpiece. But then obviously it goes down. It starts going down weird ass territory as well. And then they tried to go back and make it all about like the goo and Alien Covenant and all that kind of stuff. And to me, that just they had a chance to really enrich the universe, but they let the studios get involved and ruin it. And that's how easily like a series from your childhood or from your own personal history, how you grew up watching something can be ruined overnight just because, oh, it needs more of this and this and this that it didn't have and didn't need in the first ones because it was perfect. Because they don't know how to recreate perfection. They think throwing money at something or just saying one thing about it, people will have to accept it. Otherwise, because it's very, very political. Hollywood is super political. And they try to with all these new remakes that are coming out like Disney and stuff, people they think that people want something, but they don't. They just hear like this like very vocal minority of people crying about this and that, and then when it comes out they flop because nobody really thinks like that outside their little bubbles. When you realize that the world isn't made up of cookie cutter, you know, swaths of people that believe exactly the same fucking thing. It's like you go out into the world, and it's like, oh yeah, there's nuance to every single individual person I'm ever going to meet on this planet and in this life. You know, I mean, art is like the most important thing that you can do, and they waste money just trying to pander to a few. And politics is the same way. All they do is pander to their base, and their base is usually just like a small minority of a huge entire group of people, and it's usually these extremist, viewpoints on all sides of the coin that get all the, what is it, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Meanwhile, the rest of us are like, you don't speak for us. Let the art be what it is. Let the world be what it is. I'd rather the world be what it is than be lied to about it and be pandered to by anybody. Art can make a difference in people's lives, and this is a time when it should be leading the way, but everybody's just focused on the wrong parts of the conversation. Like, who cares about AI? Who cares? It's gonna happen eventually. It's already happening. It's already happened. What's the point in being like, well, I don't know? It's like people when the internet came out. I don't know. I don't see it taking off. I think it's gonna steal jobs. And yeah, it did, and it does, and but it's also all these other things too. And AI is the same thing. It's silly. It's not even silly to me anymore. I totally understand the point of AI, and then and the need for it and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean people like I or other illustrators or people that are analog artists are going to disappear. If anything, they're going to be more sought after than before. I don't think there's no way a machine can do what I do. I'm already the machine. I'm already plugged in. I'm already in the matrix. I am already AI. If from the second I wake up to the moment I go to sleep at night, I'm a part of the big cog. And we think that this world is it, man. It's crazy. What are machines? What is it? The electric sheep? What do they dream about? What do can they count? That's the question. How do you count electric sheep? And I ain't afraid of no. When it comes to creating art or being an artist or being creative at all, I might be intimidated by people for certain things, or envy people even, dare I say. for certain traits that they have, like being patient or not losing their cool. I admire people that don't like have to have the last word and that are more stoic than silly about the way the world is, and who actually do the work and talk the talk, all that kind of stuff. I envy people like that. I'm not patient at all. I wish I was more patient. But I'm not afraid of anybody when it comes to creating art, especially AI. I've seen what AI can do, and it's just okay. It doesn't that shit impresses me just as much as like you know a machine making music like the industry calls for. I mean, there's nothing original in the in the charts. I listen to the radio every so often, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's popular now, and it just sounds like uh, an amalgamation of every pop song I've ever heard in my entire life. Like when I say pop, I'm talking about top of the charts, like bubblegum, whatever. That 39 people, writing one song or something like that. That's not a world that I even bother living in, but I'm definitely a part of it because again, I am here we are. Parts of them little parts in this crazy weird machine. I don't know. Just blabbing. Small minority of what usually consists of fanatics, yes. Search engine, not an intelligence. Yeah, and that's what and I guess I should have clarified. I'm talking about AI art, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, AI as a separate thing, like a um, what do you call it when it becomes aware? AI becoming aware scares me in a way that I mean that scares me just as much as seeing these videos of these robot dogs that people are kicking over and these robot people that they're trying to push and shove and they just like bounce right back and people are just like in the comments like, "Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, neat." That terrifies me. Not the fact that those things even exist necessarily, because that's a whole nother conversation. But the fact that people cheer on their own demise. They cheer on their own deaths and their own Armageddon, and we cheer it on. And there's no people. The great majority of people don't even understand that what's going on when it comes to that, or that the irony there. Or they do, and they just don't care. Because, well, what are you going to do? You got to vote for evil. Even if one is more evil than the other, you gotta vote for evil. People don't have any. What choice do people have anymore when you can't even vote with a conscience, with a clean conscience, conscience. Not that I want to start talking about politics necessarily, but how can you not? It's a part of everything too. It's the machine as well. But yeah, seriously, if ever AI becomes aware and sentient, then we're all doomed anyways. It would be just a matter of moments before we're all gone. Because there ain't no scenario where humans are, in the eyes of nature or anything like that on this planet, we're not a good thing for this planet or for each other the way that we are. And AI would pick up on that right away. The AI art would be astonishing though. I mean, it's insane where you can even do AI writing, where you can have AI finish or you can write a sentence and have AI spruce it up. That's so wild. That's the idea there is, I mean, you can do a report, like a book report, and have AI do it. How do you even prove that it didn't? You know, that's the kind of stuff that trips me out. And there's going to be a whole generation of kids growing up that just know how to work this kind of stuff, and our world is going to be changing so fast overnight. Even, I mean, it already does. It already does. And we're so desensitized by like everything that we see and hear anymore that even UFOs people just scoff at and laugh at, even though they're just buzzing over our heads all the time. it's kind of crazy too because I've been watching a lot of these drone and UAP videos and things, and um, I never really thought about it. I guess I did sort of think about it at the time, but back in like 90, Jesus, it was like 99. I lived in Ashland in Oregon. Um, Trump was still there's I wholly disagree with you there. I don't think we had an option or a good option. Um, Anybody who wants people like me erased off the planet, I'm not a big fan of, my friend. And I abhor bullies, and especially those that brag about sexually assaulting people. I'm a firm believer that he's just a big fat piece of shit. Just like the rest of them, he just knows how to work the system. I actually do give him credit for that kind of stuff. And I don't blame him for the world's problems. He's just a product of the system that all these fuckers created. And now they fucking hate him because he exposes them all because of what they do. And the media loves him because they shoot their ratings through the roof. The media couldn't be happier. All of them. They're happy as clams on shit now that he's back in whatever king residency or whatever the fuck they call it. I agree. They are all crooked. That's exactly what I was talking about with lesser of two evils bullshit. Because it's just all he does is hold a mirror up to them, and like they still, and it's like Obama turned 2 wars into 8 wars, and ran out of bombs in Syria, and people are just like, but he could speak well. He sure could hold a conversation. Isn't that racist to think that? Why wouldn't he be able to speak well? You know what I mean? And they only do that because they're holding a thing up to Trump because Trump can't speak well, but he speaks to certain people. And maybe y'all should have been listening to those people for fucking 50 years instead of pushing them away and calling them all racist and sick and all that white trash and all this fucking shit. That's the problem with people. We don't listen to each other anymore. We're happy to be led to the slaughter as long as we don't have to listen to the other side or go against anything that we were raised to believe, which was all bullshit anyways. Everything we were taught, everything we were shown, everything we were told and promised was a lie. And now they tell us to hate each other, and we fall right into place. Well, that ain't no kind of world that I want to live in, Curl. I'm not, yeah. I saw that coming a mile away back when, like I've said before, the Democrats fought harder against Bernie Sanders than they ever did against Trump. It's the Democrats' problem, or like the Democrats are the reason y'all have Trump. Their programs, their networks. Hillary Clinton like ran MSNBC, dude. Her network gave Trump billions of dollars worth of free airtime. All of them did. They would film his podium before they filmed Bernie packing stadiums. And yet they'll come out and say like, they'll say anything except for taking responsibility for what they did to create this mess. And all because they didn't want their shit to be exposed. They wanted to just and it's still now. Every time I poke my head back into the political back door and I'm listening to what's going on, it's the same exact conversations that they were having 8 years ago. It's the same exact stuff. No, there's no talk about fixing things. There's no positive like plans to like get people health care, to get people education, to get people's rent down. Everything just keeps shooting up and up and up, no matter who's in charge. And then they'll laugh at you, or they'll spit on you, or like throw crumbs at you, and people just lap it up. As long as they can yell at their neighbor or call this person a racist, or that person is woke, and this and that, all this childish BS that everybody just is so enamored with. It's all gross to me. That's the thing. You don't have to pick any of them. Besides that, they're already picked. I don't vote for bullies, and I don't vote for war parties. I just won't. I can't. I'm with the people who never had a vote, that our country murders every fucking day or pays other countries to do it for us. Other countries that we help out have healthcare, universal healthcare of some kind. And I'm afraid I have fucking teeth that are missing because I can't even go to the dentist because it would be $12,000 to get one fucking tooth put in my fucking head. And that's the kind of country I live in, where my aunt has to spend $5,000 a month for fucking insulin. And no president ever helping out there, but they'll fight against Bernie for demanding it. But now Bernie's just like, oh, just back in the day it was like, oh, revolution, revolution, and now it's just like, I'm with the Dems. Dems the rules. It's just like fucking revolution. And it's just like the people in the boomers back in the day talking about revolution and changing the world and everything. Then they're just like, we're good. We bought our houses for $12, working at 7-Eleven on the weekends. Yeah, no, we're good. We don't want to rock the boat. It's our kids and their kids that are the lazy ones. How dare they for speaking out and again about the future that we're leaving them, or lack thereof, I guess. That's what I'm saying, man. I just read your guys' comments a little bit, but like, at least an option. Just give us an option. I mean, that's the craziest thing to me. And like, again, when you boil down the basic stuff, like, again, like, I'm not even saying give it to us for free, but yeah, it shouldn't be. You shouldn't go broke for needing insulin, something that keeps you alive. I could go without teeth. I'm fine. I have a fake one or whatever. All the other ones are gonna fall out anyways. I'm like 45 years old. But I'm surprised the other three haven't, because I've said this before, but I had an accident when I was a kid, and it messed up my teeth in my head before they even like came down into my out of my permanent teeth or whatever. So the growth in them is stunted. So like my roots in the four front teeth were like the size of like a 4-year-old kid's roots, little teeny roots. And I'm surprised I still have them in my little head. But I mean, they call it vanity, like a vanity procedure, if you want to get like your teeth fixed or something like that. And that just seems so chicken shit. I've always had a thing against, even before I ever heard of like Bernie or people standing up. The whole reason I'm bringing up Bernie so much is too because before him, I had never heard anybody talk about the Democrats or just run for that side and be talking like he was against them and being like, these people have failed you. And he got a whole bunch of people riled up saying like, oh, that's right, yeah, people can talk like this. And on the other side, it was Trump, and he was saying everything that the people on that side of the spectrum was needing to hear, you know. And there's a whole lot of people in the middle too that considered themselves maybe liberal, that Trump was speaking to as well, that they were hearing, and they could look past all the horrible shit, because again, just like a lot of people would comment in this thing, well, they're all like that. They're all like that, they're all crooked, right? And I agree. But that doesn't mean we have to be okay with it. And I'm usually talking, when I talk shit about, I put out this video the other day about, asking questions of Trump supporters, and people just convolute that question so freaking much. My point is like, when there's people going around your town with flags and pulling over and pulling masks off people and spitting in their faces and assaulting people just for who they vote for, and then people are coming to that video telling me like, well, you shouldn't care who people vote for. And I'm like, nowhere in that video did I say people couldn't vote for Trump. I was asking Trump supporters what what was their favorite thing about Jesus. And I never did get an answer, because it was all this like, well, this and this and that. And I'm like, obviously you guys aren't the guys I'm talking about. It's like asking a very poignant question about something, and then all these people on the outskirts of that coming in and saying, and I'm like, but you guys aren't who the question is for. It was about people who claim to be Christians who go out and do heinous things as like it seems like maybe like an Old Testament Christian to me. And then they go, they consider themselves Christians or they hide behind religion. I'm talking about fake people hiding behind religion. You know what I mean? It would be like me talking about pedophiles in the church, and people are like, "Well, yeah, but I mean, the priests are really good people." And it's like, yeah, okay, there are good priests, but I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the bad ones who are the pedophiles, or I'm talking about bad police. I'm not talking about all police. You don't need your Blue Lives Matter thing. You just need that you need to understand that there are bad people within your ranks, and you need to help us just as much as we want them out. You need to get these people out too. People go into like religion, they go into politics, they go into into law enforcement, all this stuff. The priesthood, because they want to do damage, because they feel like that'd be a good place to hide. You know, big bad wolf style. And like when you call that out, people are like, "Well, but there's good people too." And it's like, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the good people. I know there's good people out there. I'm talking about the bad ones or the hypocrites. And all you have to do is ask just a simple question. One little thread, just so their whole whatever they're trying to prove comes from unraveling right before everybody. Doesn't take much. And I should know, because not only am I a member of the American Humanoid Hypocrite Society, but I'm also the president. I have a unique perspective, I guess, on the world. Once you turn the TV off too, and you just don't even like watch that kind of stuff, and you can start talking in generalities, or just in a sense like that these people aren't going to be in office forever, you know? And again, they're doing this thing where, oh, is he going to run for a third term? It's like whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and nothing we say or do is going to change that, or at least the way that we're going about it, you know? You've got to fix the system. You've got to try to, I mean, if people really knew where the money in politics came from, with like donors and corporations voting and billions of dollars, but behind closed doors and stuff going on. I mean, but they still just blame one person, which I think is chicken shit. And that's where I do agree with people that, are aligned with Trump or whatever, where he's not like the source of all the world's problems. He's a scapegoat for all of it. He's the excuse for everybody to come out and be like, yeah, that's right. This is what I believe or whatever. But he also feeds into it. So I just choose not to be taken by any of them. And when you start doing that and realizing like, oh yeah, these people are just masks. These people are just put out in front to distract you from what's really going on. Yeah, it gets a lot easier. Easier just in the sense of like being able to actually know who the enemy really is. And it's not the ones that they put in front of you. It's the one in the mirror. So on that note, sorry. Yes, he is a symptom. He is the symptom. And he is the culmination of the past several decades of both sides of the aisle fucking over the working class and the middle class. I mean, it's just gotten worse. The last time I checked, 40,000, 50,000 people, if not more, a year die in this country from lack of adequate health care. And most people can't even afford a $500 emergency. Like over half the country, like 60% of the country. And imagine people that can't even afford a $500 emergency relying on a healthcare system that charges them $5,000 or $4,000 a month for insulin, and then just break it down from there. Reverse engineer the whole fucking thing from there, and you'll realize who, you know. But then you get people just thinking that they can go out and shoot people, and that's gonna solve shit. Whereas, you know, same sort of people think that they can go and kill Trump or something, and like that's gonna solve anything, or kill politicians or anything, kill children for that matter. People think going into schools with guns is a good idea. You know, what the fuck? It's definitely rotten. And it's too bad we don't have actual leaders who can, like, shake us out of this nonsense. But I wish you guys well. I wish you all well. I'm for you. I'm not with them. I'm for us. You know, I want everybody to be safe and happy, well fed. I want their kids to be the same. I could care less what politicians think, because they're not on our side. And I guess you just got to get out there and meet people. I like going to cemeteries for that reason. But anyways, I hope y'all don't take anything I say too literal, because I sure don't. But I sure am fond of your company. I really appreciate you stopping by. And I hope we can do this some other time, in another place perhaps, in another dimension even. Who knows? And it's true, and that's why, you know, he is a symptom. And shit rolls downhill. All right, everybody, you take care of yourselves now. I sure do love you. Later, Pastor. Bye bye, everybody.